Muss ich da jetzt... Och. Warum muss ich dafür denn extra an Bord kommen?
We have a clean dock, right on the money.
No particular love for the UC or their bravado.
I had a friend on the Regana. I hope I'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave.
Hello. We're back. Anything to report? We got the message from the Regana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for.
Schön, dass er sich ergeben hat. Ich wollte niemanden töten, ob unschuldig oder nicht. Ich hätte Rake auch problemlos selber getötet. Ich wollte nur die Crew nicht traumatisieren. Ich habe meine Tarnung riskiert, das weißt du hoffentlich zu schätzen.
That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
We did our best not to cross the line, but the more we do, the more we risk exposing the deception.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Regana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem.
Clevere Methode!
Ah, so I take it you have good news. Were you able to join the fleet?
Yes.
Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet.
Diese Idioten haben keinen Verdacht geschöpft. Bezahl mich einfach, damit ich verschwinden kann. Was weißt du über Naeva?
A woman has a record that could stretch across Seoul and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats, and worked her way up to second in command. She's a force to be reckoned with, so don't underestimate her. Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda?
Ich soll mich mit Naeva auf den Schlüssel treffen. Ich habe die Koordinaten der Basis der Crimson Fleet erhalten. Naeva will sich wieder bei Europa mit mir treffen. Soll ich nicht lieber von der Vigilanz verschwinden, bevor meine Tarnung flieht?
Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
What is there to know? He is pirate scum, like all of them.
Exactly. The Crimson Fleet is not a monolith. Any information you have on its members can only help. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the quay. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
We got a wager going over with the fleet.
Any adventure you can fly.
Nach Kriegs. Okay. Strange.
Go ahead, try and run! Bring all weapons online! Ha ha ha!
Jump complete. Normal propulsion restored.
Rocklock, Nebas, Boron, Eis, Nox, Pandor, Max.
Hail
Something
acknowledged.
bothering you,
Duck where you
Agent?
like.
Yes, actually. I am surprised you noticed. You have quite the talent for reading people's correct mood from afar. Comes with the territory, I suppose. Care to share your troubles? I am concerned for the rest of the installation. We're docked. My presence.
You got your cut. Now get out
Regardless of how I present myself,
10K, but it was
I feel as though they're looking at me
big
this
difference on
rather
40%
than
of
how
10
much.
versus 30. You wanted 4K, you got 4K. Not my problem. If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
You kidding me? Way to make a mess in front of my new rook.
Hey, steal from me and get caught. Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor.
I am.
Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener.
You know what I find back there?
The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something?
Nearly got me dusted.
Please. It'd be one less sloppy rook whose mess I had to clean up. The last thing I need is another Austin rake getting cold feet.
Willkommen
You
zurück,
wanna lead the
Akropolis.
fleet? You pay the price. Not in credits, but in blood.
Und welchen Müll musstest du beseitigen, den ich hinterlassen habe? Denn ich hab nichts hinterlassen.
Fair enough. Glad to see you showing some backbone. Just be careful that you can back up that attitude before you square off with someone who can kick your ass.
Nobody can kick my
All that
ass.
aside, you made it. So now, you get to hear a nifty history lesson. Pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Keep. Used to be an old UC military star station, and now it's the fleet's base of operations.
Mhm.
Might look a little beat up on the outside, but we keep it together.
Gerade so zusammenhalten oder sieht so aus, als könnte man sich hier seiner freien Zeit gut amüsieren. Was für ein Drecksloch ist das denn hier? Die UC sind sicher stinksauer, dass ihr die Station hier seid. Die Königspflicht eine komplette übernommen?
Sure did. Right out from under their noses. Way before you or I were born, though. We've held this station for a very long time. Don't worry. Delgado will tell you all about it. You think? And that's only part of it. I'll let Delgado fill you in on the whole story. He tells it better anyway. But I can give you the short version while we walk the station.
It must be very embarrassing for the UC to be in this situation.
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the key. But it's better if I show you too. Follow me.
Ich will dir nicht folgen. Ich möchte erstmal selber rumlaufen und erforschen.
History time.
Guck, Munition. Wichtig. Brauche ich. Siehst du überhaupt was dazwischen? Okay, da kommen wir nicht lang. Klebeband und Drähte brauchen wir. So, wenn wir das finden, nehmen. Atrium?
The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, lock, key. Cute, huh?
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Dunnigan of SSNN, and this is Galactalk. My guest tonight is one of the most notorious criminals in the settled systems. His ruthlessness and desire for wealth has landed him squarely at the top of the wanted list for every major law enforcement agency in the galaxy. I am, of course, speaking of the self-appointed leader of the Crimson Fleet himself, Jasper Crix. Good evening, Mr. Crix.
Good evening, Gail. Thank you for
Wurde das ganze Sonnensystem nach dem benannt?
Yes, well, being blindfolded and then grav jumped to what appears to be an abandoned mining facility isn't exactly what I'd call an invitation.
Well, I'm sure you're not surprised that your request for an interview would come with some very specific conditions.
Frankly, I was a bit surprised to receive any type of response at all. Would you mind telling me why you decided to do this interview?
Because there comes a time in every pirate's life where they have to make an extremely important decision. Do they take a leap and become one of the most legendary pirates in history? Or do they simply sputter on, subsisting on freighters and deep space privateers?
So are we to assume that you're taking the leap? That Jasper Crix is moving on to bigger and better things in his life?
That's spot on, Gail. That's exactly why you're here.
Interesting. Well then, would you mind sharing with us exactly what your particular leap entails?
In due time. There's no rush. In fact, I'd say we have at least 12 hours before the authorities trace this broadcast. Plenty of time to discuss whatever you like.
Oh, all right then. Perhaps the best place to start this interview would be at the beginning of your career.
Please, proceed.
Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aw. And you always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted into the hold of the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the key.
About time you brought us new blood, Neva. I was getting tired of trading with the same old faces.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, Elutra. Anyway, welcome to the depot. We'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa, whoa. It's not our fault.
Ah, da ist dann Waffen. Was haben wir hier? Hier ist wahrscheinlich Ausrüstung, Supplies, Ressourcen und sowas. Okay.
Because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the key, they established it as a base of operations.
So, tell us about Jasper Crix's version of the Crimson Scar.
All I can tell you is that under my guidance, the Crimson Scar became more influential than every other syndicate combined. Here I was, 22 years old, and I had power, people that followed my orders, and an endless stream of credits. Gale, I have to tell you, I was having the time of my life.
So you'd consider extortion, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault, and murder to be positive life influences?
No. I'd consider them as just means to an end. Those so-called crimes were merely stepping stones until I had enough wealth to buy the Crimson Scar a few spacecraft.
Yes, let's talk about that. It appears you weren't satisfied with terrorizing New Atlantis alone.
Oh, I've never stopped reaching, Gale. The amount of money we were making in New Atlantis was decent, but the really big scores were in space and the cargo ships. We're talking millions of credits, maybe more. Who the hell could count it all?
Most people assume this is when the UC decided to actively set up a task force to pursue the Crimson Scar.
That's correct. Those idiots in charge of the United Colonies were clearly embarrassed that they had allowed the Crimson Scar to make the jump into space. They sent ships after us. Lots of ships. I almost think that they enjoy starting wars.
Perhaps this was the first time you had finally reached too far.
You could say that. I count my time running the Crimson Scar as a learning experience. I wouldn't say I reached too far. I'd say I reached too fast. Didn't cover all my bases. Made some stupid mistakes. One thing's for certain, though. When I was finally arrested and thrown into the lock, I had plenty to think about.
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
Rook, meet Zuri, queen of the rare exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Euro-Amps?
Blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Neva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss.
Don't even try
right,
to rip me off.
got Radley from
I
the
know
Trade
value when I
Authority.
see it.
I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up. Yeah, you got money.
Let's see what we have now.
Du siehst so aus, als ob du... Was verkaufst du hier?
What'll it be, friend?
Hau ab, tu nicht so, als wären wir die besten Freunde. Ich sehe gerade, dass Bo anzubieten hast.
The fleet's got an impressive. They even managed to let business on the key is like no other. It's the sole.
Wenn du nur hinter Credits her bist, passt du perfekt hier rein. Ich dachte, das Schlüssel wäre nur für die Crimson Fleet. Wie lange bist du schon auf den Schlüssel? Warum erlaubt die Crimson Fleet die Anwesenheit der Handelsaufsicht?
It's the mutual benefit. The Trade Authority buys any goods of value. We don't care how you got it, only that we can profit from it.
Ah.
It's the fastest way to turn your hard-earned loot into legitimate credits.
Ach, er gehört zur
So
Handelsaufsicht.
naturally, it made sense to establish a presence here. Why risk flying into New Atlantis or Aquila City when you can just do business here?
Ah.
It's the mutual benefit.
Hoch.
It's the fastest way to turn. So natural. I'd say it's been about 10 years now since the Trade Authority assigned me this post. It felt a little extreme at the time, but I can see why they figured it was a good fit. There are a few who share that sentiment. You'd think a successful business relationship would change their minds, but a few will always see me as an outsider. Regardless, as long as the fleet has goods to push, the Trade Authority will always maintain a presence on the key.
Reden wir über das Geschäft. Wie bist du bei der Handelsaufsicht gelandet? Überlegst du überhaupt, dich der Fleet anzuschließen?
I left a similar lifestyle behind when I joined the Trade Authority. I never looked back. A lot of the rooks here see freedom and lawlessness, but that's only if you don't get caught.
Yep.
True freedom is not having a bounty on your head, with every cop and mercenary out to get you. Let's just say I've done my fair share of questionable activities in the past. With the credits I amassed, I gave the Trade Authority a sizable donation in exchange for a clean slate and a stable job. So, here I am, at your service. I was hoping you'd say.
Na, endlich. So. Lass mal gucken, was wir verkaufen können. Okay. Nichts. Aber was hat er denn so Schönes? Er hat keine Medipacks? Und er hat auch nichts für die Schiffe.
Your credits are always good at the Trade Authority.
See anything? I hope you came with credits. Hey.
Okay, was hast du so schönes im Angebot? Einen antiken Computer. Yo.
Don't miss me too much.
I don't need to hear. Behold, my rent.
Baguette. Sie hat also... Ah, Schiffsteile. Ressourcen, sehr gut.
Whatever. Well, well. Everyone up. Hey, if you want to pour credit, I carry most of the stuff. Okay?
Ja.
Just don't screw me over or I'll be...
Keule, wir haben gerade gesagt, lass den Smalltalk überspringen. Ah.
Not being intimidated. A little advice. You bleed for the fleet. Anyone who says otherwise is I
don't care.
Well, most people just gotten a new ship. Done here? Fine by me.
Right, heading out. I'll only the...
Nice. Warum haben die alle keine Mets? Sieht eigentlich cool aus, die Rüstung. I want.
See ya.
Reckoner's Corps, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our Reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Neva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure to be quite empowering.
Das ist die cleverste Sicherheitsmaßnahme, die ich je gesehen habe.
Glad you approve. Obviously, betrayal isn't taken lightly around here. Since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet, I'm a prime target for information. Should our enemies capture me, or I grew any semblance of a moral conscience, you might consider me the greatest threat we have. For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind and a certain degree of safety.
Delgado scheint ein kluger Mann zu sein. Du kommst sicher nicht oft raus. Ich glaube, ich könnte so ein Opfer nicht bringen.
It's been over 5 years since I've stepped off the key. Leaving this place puts far too much at risk. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene with the core. Thanks to advanced modifications even Ryujin would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network.
Machst du jetzt hier einen auf
This allows
Cyberpunk
me
oder
to
was?
move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us.
Dann wird Zeit, ein paar Credits zu verdienen.
None. Other than my chest and arm modifications, I am but a simple man. Is the interview over now? Can we get back to work? The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, we always have a steady stream of jobs available. I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access these listings at any time, using the computers that surround the core.
Klingt, als würden wir viel miteinander zu tun haben. Ich habe keine einfachen kleinen Jobs. Sag bitte einfach, dass wir hier offiziell fertig sind.
If Neva's chosen wisely, we certainly will. Now, I believe that covers all I have to say, so you can run along to Delgado. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be able to find your way from there, I hope.
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been
If you're doing any
repaired.
lifting later,
Oh,
I can
and
spot
you're
you.
welcome, Nev.
Okay.